hello. Hello and happy Friday. Welcome to Carolyn's Madhouse. Seriously, happy Friday, everybody. And it is a little bit of a madhouse. I just got done telling Morgan, why? Every Friday I get up and I think I've got plenty of time to do everything. And then 5 minutes before, I'm running around like a chicken with its head cut off, literally. Anyway, but I'm here and you're here, which is the most important part. No matter what it took to get me here. Let me just set up my notes here real quick. Don't mind me. Chat amongst yourselves, as I see y'all are already doing, by the way, which I love. And just put that over here. I have lots to tell you all about. I'm Carolyn with Swan City Yarns, by the way, if I didn't say that. And if you happen to be new, welcome. Let's see who else is here today. Who are my swans? Hello, Valera and Anne and Deborah Sue. It looks like, I think they've updated some things in my streaming platform. And so y'all's names look a little bit different. There's like this @ symbol. Hello, Cindy. Glad to have you here. And Katrin, did I already say Katrin? I don't know who all I said hi to. Laura. Hello, Laura. You are out for a beach walk. I love it. All right. Well, you have a good time. That's a good thing to be doing on a Friday afternoon for sure. Hello, Deb. Glad to have you here. And Cindy B is here. And Karen Leggett from Tulsa. Tish, a balmy 49. And Billy's here. Hey, Billy. Glad to have you here. If I missed anybody, I apologize. And for those of you that join later, thanks for joining. All right, so let's see. It's been a busy week, as always, in the dye studio. And what was I dyeing up? Oh, I was dyeing up some Christmas colorways. I was dyeing up a wholesale order, all the things. So, yeah, we have lots to talk about today. And I'm sipping a matcha latte. Ooh, I did good. I made it. Morgan has yet to learn to make these. I think she just doesn't want to. But it's okay, because she usually makes our iced coffees. But we're out of cold brew. And I said, well, I'll make us a matcha latte if you would like. So I did. All right. And I prefer my matcha lattes iced. They're good warm, especially if it's cold outside. But I like the creaminess that comes through when they're iced for some reason. Anyway. All right. So as y'all know, last weekend was the Alabama Fiber Fest. If you didn't catch my live video, you can still watch it. It's under the live tab. If you go to the Swan City Yarns channel, it's under the live tab. I did a quick video about our time there. And so I did make some purchases, although I've given out some of my purchases already, but I will show you. Oh, I didn't bring my little bracelet. Darn it. Well, one of the things that I got, there was a lovely young lady, Elizabeth. I don't know how to say her last name. Meigs, maybe, M-E-I-G-S. She's Lissa, LISSA.made.crafts on Instagram. And she was just attending the festival. And she gave out these little goodie bags. There's a stitch marker, and I think everybody got a different stitch marker. There were a variety of them. This was the one I got. And then also a bracelet that said yarn on it. It was so cute. And I wore it all weekend, and then I took it off when I got home and forgot to bring it in here. But anyway, so that was really sweet. I loved that. And then in the video, the live video that I did, I showed you our booth buddy, Athena, at Lemon Made. And I actually got quite a bit from her, but I've already passed out a lot of it. So I got a pair of earrings for Morgan. They look like a little teeny tiny granny square that she put together, and they're beautiful. Anyway, Morgan already has them. I also bought this from her. This is not for a giveaway. Unfortunately, I bought it with someone specific in mind. So this will go out to a special someone. But these are she had a bunch of snagless stitch markers like this. And she also had, let me steady it here, a bunch of fidget toys. Like I bought a couple for Connor. One of them, he was like, "Oh, I've been wanting one of these." It's a bunch of blocks that are joined at different places. So you fold them and unfold them. Bo ended up getting one for himself. And then there was also a keychain that had just all these intertwining circles with different textures on it. And I got that for Connor too. And I thought I got something else for Morgan, but I don't remember now what it was. Oh, I got her a book. I'll talk about that in a minute. And then Athena also was giving out, look at these. I don't know, it's probably blurring because of me in the background. Is a little rhino bug. She had all sorts of these that she was giving out so that you could adopt a bug. And she just gave them away. And she'd give you as many as you wanted. She had tons of them. And so I have a little green one and I have a little pink one too that I ended up keeping. Morgan got one that was, Athena called it a rare bug because she was multicolored. So yeah, she's such a sweetie. She was the one with the little puppy dog Barley that I mentioned in the video as well. And then, so there was a bookstore. So we found, Bo and I always like to look for coffee shops when we travel. It's a little bit harder when we're at festivals because with his job and me needing to get back as well, a lot of times we're just in and out. So we don't, and you're tired after a full day of standing in a marketplace. And, so you don't always get to do a lot of sightseeing, but because Bo's brother lives in Birmingham or near Birmingham, we got there a day early so that we could spend some time with them. So, and then the day that we set up, we also had a little bit of extra time. So we found a little coffee shop nearby. And in the same shopping center as the coffee shop, there was a little antique mall and there was a bookstore. It was like it was made for us. So we checked out both places. And in the bookstore, I got this puzzle. I wasn't sure at first. I was like, I don't know. Should I get it? And because it's not like I have a ton of time to put together puzzles. But Bo made a point that Morgan and I could put it together and then I could frame it and put it in my office. So I think that's what we're going to do. And Morgan was already looking at some of our favorite characters and some of the houses. For example, I thought that this, where's it at? Can you all see this? This looked to me like Pemberley, but I was like, it doesn't make sense that there's a bunch of people walking around Pemberley like it's in the middle of a city. So Morgan looked at the poster. There's an included poster, and it turns out that this here is Pemberley, which makes sense that it would get pride of place right smack dab at the top. Anyway, I don't think that really looks like the Pemberley that I saw in the movie, but maybe the movie was wrong. Anyway, so, and then I bought Morgan a book. It was a book of effed up fairy tales. It was fairy tales that the writer had taken and kind of put like a modern spin on it, but Morgan really enjoyed it. She's already finished it. She said it's a great book. So, anyway, Tish, what am I wearing? That's a good question. This is, I think it's just called Cozy Cardi, the Cozy Cardi by Andrea Mowry. And I say super simple. It's pretty simple. It's a DK weight pattern that you knit this long rectangle, and then she has you seam up a little bit of the snow. How did I do that? Did I seam it up? Yes, you seam up to the end and then leave a little hole, pick up stitches for your cuffs. And then you also pick up stitches here for your collar. So it's literally like wearing a blanket, y'all. And that's exactly what I do with it. At night, this always stays on the back of the couch. And at night, on chilly nights, I put it on, and because we're sitting under the fan in the AC. And and I wear it and I knit. And so, and I'll tell you why I wore it a little bit later. I was wearing it last night, in fact, and I was like, ooh, I should actually wear that tomorrow for a purpose that I will tell you about a little bit later. All right, what else do we have to talk about? So, I did want to say, okay, so I noticed something at the festival. And I've been noticing this at a lot of festivals. Now that I have a few under my belt, I have some things to say. First of all, one of the main things that I hear, and it's a great strategy, is people say, I'm just making my first pass through. I totally get that because and I also hear people say, wow, it's a little overwhelming because there's so much and it's hard to make decisions, right? So, but the other thing that I hear along with that later on is, I'm sure this is where I saw it. And it not even in just in my booth, I hear it in other booths. So, one thing that I will say, if you go to a festival or something like that with a lot of choices, take pictures or get their business card if they have one and write down what you might be interested in because there are so many choices and sometimes it's easy to forget where we saw what we wanted. And the other thing that I noticed is that if as you are overwhelmed as a participant, it can, in some ways, be a little overwhelming for us as vendors. I don't know how many people I spoke to, but it was a lot. And, even this, especially the second day, I look at someone and be like, you look familiar. Did I already speak to you? And that was just with people I didn't know. And then, sometimes people will come up to you and you're like, I know this person. And it takes your brain a minute to process, okay, where do I know this person from? So I will say, if you are, just keep that in mind that the vendors themselves have spoken to a lot of people. They've seen a lot of people. And you might need to remind them where they last saw you or about the conversation that you had. I got an email from a yarn shop owner and she said something and I was like, okay, remind me of the conversation. So just keep that in mind too. And I hate that because I like to know, if I've met someone, I like to acknowledge that and I like to remember their name and their face and all that. But it can be difficult to do for sure when you're talking to hundreds, even thousands of people. So yeah, Bo's right. It is definitely comfy. I made this with a base it's 50% silk, 50% merino. And then this is the fluffy lace base up here, actually. So yeah, luxurious, all the good things that it could possibly be. Okay, what else? Oh, I did want to mention, so Game of Wool. Are y'all enjoying it? I know a couple of you have posted in the Stitchers Facebook group that it's available on YouTube. I haven't been able to watch it yet. It's on my list of things I want to watch. I know it has certainly sparked some conversations. I read an article just this morning about, I guess they did one on Fair Isle and how it is bringing attention to Fair Isle and the history of all of that. And so I think that's kind of cool. But I guess there maybe is a little bit of controversy too, just because different opinions about things and decisions made. But if you think about it, to be a participant on something like that, and then you have a certain amount of time to finish something, that's tricky. And how do you handle that? So there was a different one that was on years ago that and we mentioned it. We were talking about it. I know I talked about it on the live that I found it. I think I found it on Netflix or something. And it was an old one, a competition that they had done in England. And a lot of the same stuff where, they had to use like chunky yarn and some of the stuff that they made. I was like, oh, I don't know. So it's definitely interesting. And I'm glad that they are making the show or made the show because it's good to highlight fiber crafts and all that, and it brings attention to it for sure. So I was curious if y'all liked it. Yeah, you're right, Tish. Most people did ask me if they could, can I take a picture of this? Which is why I say, maybe grab the business card and write down, or you can ask. And I had people take pictures of things and they never did come back and buy it. And whether it's because they were going to go ask another dyer to make a colorway like that, or if they just decided they didn't need that yarn, whatever, I don't know. I try not to be too picky about that sort of thing. Oh, interesting, Cindy. One done in Norway. I bet that was interesting. Yeah. All right. And then what else? I think tonight is the last night of Mistletoe Murder. Season two, the season finale will be tonight. I have to finish up just a little bit of the last episode from last week, and then I'll finish up. I've really been enjoying the series. Apparently, it's based on an Audible series because I was trying to look up the book I was going to buy. You know, if it was a book series, I was going to buy it. But apparently, it's a series done on Audible, and when I went to it, it was letting me listen to it without having to pay. So I guess it was a free series on Audible. So check it out if you're interested. I haven't finished it or even really started it. I was just going to put it in my library, but yeah, so I'll definitely be listening to that. And I don't know, is it going to go on after season 2? Will they come up with a season 3 next year? I don't know. Hello, Gloria. I'm new to the channel. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. All right. And then what else? I promised you all to show you a prize. The prize so far, I'm just doing, let's see, where are we at in November? Yeah, I'll be gone next week for Thanksgiving. So this will probably be the only giveaway that we do at the end. I'll announce the winner of the November Fiber Challenge at the first podcast in December. And so, but I decided on the prize, and it's 2 skeins of fluffy sock as I promised. And this is the colorway called Love Bug. I thought about giving you 2 different colorways that would mesh together nicely, but I just went with 2 of the same. So, yeah, so you'll get 2 skeins of fluffy lace. So don't forget, I've been loving seeing y'all's pictures of your sweaters that you're knitting. And it's not too late to join if you want to pick up a whip or a new sweater pattern or something like that and join in. All the official rules are in the Swan City Stitchers Facebook group. So hello, Evie. So glad you're here. Happy Friday. Are y'all ready for Thanksgiving, by the way? Are you gearing up for it? It's going to be here before you know it. And then Christmas, literally right around the corner. All right, I have to show you something. So I think I've told you all, Michelle Browning has been cranking some socks for me, which has been super helpful for showing how a colorway knits up, especially with the types of color repeats that I tend to do sometimes, and especially the wild and crazy colors. People are like, how did that work up? And so it's so helpful in the booth or even in the pictures and the listings to show this is how that color looks up. So I had her crank up some new ones. I can't show them all to you yet because some of the colorways haven't been released yet. However, she sent me in this latest package, look what she sent me, y'all. She sent me another pair of Under the Mistletoe with a velveteen accent. I was like, she one-upped me. When she first cranked my first pair of Under the Mistletoe, I had her pair it with I think it was Mossy, one of the greens that's in this colorway. And I don't know, she must have had leftover yarn. Did she buy more? I don't know. I know you can get a couple pairs of socks out of each tube. So maybe she had enough, I hope, to make another pair. So sweet. And but she put a velveteen accent on it, y'all, and I love it so much. Like, I'm definitely wearing these this holiday season. Yeah, and I think I actually like the velveteen better than the green. I was trying to be like, well, red's my favorite color. I'm not just gonna go with red for the sample, but she made the right choice. I think velveteen is just scrumptious. Look at that. Oh. So that was an extra that she sent me. And then one of the other, it was an older colorway that I had her crank up. And she sent me the socks. Anybody know what this is? 3 guesses. I'm just kidding. I'll tell you what it is. Hey, Diane, glad to see you here. Oh, that's right, Evie. I heard about your Thanksgiving cruise. Darla told me about it. I hope y'all have a good time. I know you will, obviously. Anybody know what this is? I will tell you. In fact, here, let me show you the skein as well. That should tell you right away what it is. That is Santa's acid trip. So, and it's funny because I sent her the yarn and then proceeded to sell out of it on Trusty Sock. So I had to dye up more, which I have done, and it's in the shop now. And Trusty DK. Yeah, I had to dye it up on Trusty Sock and Trusty DK, but it's such a great colorway that I was like, yeah, no problem. I'll just dye it more. So there it is. She cranked a pair for me. And I paired it with a highlighter mini, which those are now in the shop as well. They were not in the shop previously, but highlighter is now in the shop. But you could put it with a disco mini, that turquoisey blue. You could put it with a bright pink, like what's the one I'm thinking of? What's the bright pink? Dun, dun, dun. Stargazer. You could pair it with Stargazer. You could do Paint the Town Red would be good in this. So yeah, you could choose any, just a lot of choices as far as minis go. But that will be a lovely addition to my shop sample. So thank you, Michelle, for that. And then what else did I want to tell you? Oh, I wanted to tell you, while I'm just announcing some things left and right here, Hanukkah calendars have gone out. Let's see, they went out Monday. So if you haven't gotten yours and you ordered it, you should be pretty close. This is what it looks like. Your mailing label was up here, and then your Hanukkah sticker down here. It's a set of 8 minis. And if I have extras, I'll check, and then I'll post it like I did the Christmas Advents. If I have any of those extra left over, I'll let you know. All right. Oh, hey, Sharon. I'm walking the city. I feel so privileged. Oh, y'all, guess who's here? Bobby from Knitter's Niche. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We're so privileged to have you here, Bobby. Do y'all know Bobby? I'm sure you do. If not, she has the YouTube channel Knitter's Niche. And I know, in fact, when I posted a picture on social media that we had taken of me and her and Susie from Yarn Over With Us podcast, somebody, I think it was Karen Gutowski, said something about, what'd she say about Bobby? I don't remember, but obviously y'all know who Bobby is. So I was so thrilled to meet her and Susie. I had met Susie's partner in crime at the, oh gosh, in North Carolina, Charlotte, Southern Comforts Fiber Festival. Her and her daughter were there. So yeah. So then I got to meet Susie and their friend Bobby. So it was lovely. All right. What else are we talking? Okay. I think it's time, y'all, to show off your projects. And I know it's been, oh, actually, I do have one more thing to show you. But let me finish that train of thought. I know it's been 2 weeks, but I have a lot of projects to show y'all. Fortunately, I didn't save that bit of work till this morning. I did that yesterday. Anyway, the thing that I wanted to show you is the monthly mini color club that went out earlier this month. So if you, for some reason, haven't opened yours yet, and you want to be surprised, you might want to look away. But here it is. Dun, dun, dun. This is the mini colorway. Let me block my face so it doesn't blur. And you can see it's got some pale blues and browns and oranges in there. And the stitch marker is a chrysanthemum. And apparently that is known as the Queen of Autumn. Or is it a variety? I can't remember now, the research that I did. Anyway, so the colorway is named Queen of Autumn, just so you know. That's that. All right. Okay. Moving on. Y'all, I'm so nervous. Bobby joined in. I just don't know what to do. I'm like, oh, all of Twitter. I'm so nervous now. All right. Cindy, you missed that. What did you miss? I'm not, you know me, once I leave a topic, it's just gone. All right, let me pull up your projects and we'll go through them. And I hope that they loaded. I can already tell that they didn't load in the order that I have them written down in, but that's all right. I will find them and we will make our way through. First of all, let me just say, this is not the most recent picture of Cindy's beautifully basic tee. However, I really liked the way that this one showed the layout of the sweater. So I grabbed this picture, Cindy. I hope that's okay. And Hang on. Let me address a comment on Instagram. Pam says, can we still subscribe to the monthly mini subscription? Actually, I do have an opening, Pam. If you are interested in that, send me an email and we can get you signed up. And Michelle says to match your sweater. Oh, she's talking about the socks. Thank you, Michelle. I love them so much. Yes, it's perfect for my sweater. All right. So this is Cindy's. Let's go back to the picture. I apologize. This is Cindy's beautiful basic tee that she's doing in the colorway Nanata's House. Isn't it gorgeous? I know. I said it last week. I'll say it again. I love red and blue together. And this colorway just really hits the spot for me. So I love that you're knitting it up, Cindy. And then another beautiful finish. This is Cindy Nicholas did this one, and she finished. It's a ranunculus that she made for her sister, and she did this one in Pomp and Circumstance on Sparkly DK, and it's such a good fit. She did a very good job on that, I have to say. You know, I've made 3 of these now, but all 3 of mine kind of followed the same yarn structure. You know, and I'm a little bit nervous to do it at a different yarn weight. So I'm really impressed when y'all pull out your fingering and DK weight ranunculuses. I'm just in awe of them. So nicely done, Cindy. Oh, Mary Ellen. So this is her Ooey Gooey. I think I told y'all that she was doing this, and I have to say, I knew that we had picked good colors because she and I picked these colors together when we were over at the Common Thread in St. Pete. But seeing it in a picture, I'm just like, oh yeah, that we did good. So she's using Ichabod's Blush is her main color. And then Queen of Tarts is the contrast color up there. Nicely done. I just love it, Mary Ellen. Okay. So Gwen posted this picture in the bottom right corner. Is she actually knit up that project, but decided that she didn't like it. And so she tore it out and knit the Bean and Olive grown up sweater, which is by Andrea Mowry. We do love our Andrea Mowry patterns, don't we, in this group? And it looks great. So I can't wait to see it finished. I'm always impressed when someone is willing to say, you know what? I don't like this well enough. And I'm going to undo my work and make something else out of it. I think that's very nice. And that's in Lollipop Sea, by the way, that she's knitting that. I forget the name of the contrast color. It's not Swan City yarn. So it's not, no, I'm just kidding. It's beautiful though. It really is. Okay. Dorothy, I met her over in Cocoa last month at the fall. I think it's called the fall. I think they settled on the name Fall Fiber Vendor Market that was done by Knit and Stitch Boutique, and she sells yarn. And Dorothy bought a skein of garnet and gold from me and knit up this hat for her. I believe it's her daughter who is a Seminole. So she did so good. So that's that. And then, okay, Linda, I'm so impressed. This is Linda's first sweater, y'all. And I have no doubt that just like when I first met her, she, I think, had just started knitting socks and was a little unsure of herself. Now, I think she's a more accomplished sock knitter than I am. So I don't doubt that she will soon be an accomplished sweater knitter as well. So, and she's doing the BBT also, and I'm pretty sure that's in the colorway Slate that she's using there. I'm surprised we don't have any socks by her. We do have socks by Leah Gibson. So this is Leah from Leah Loves to Knit. If you are familiar with her, she has a YouTube podcast as well. And she used the colorway Melts in Your Mouth and made these pair of socks for her son. I believe that is her a new sock pattern that she's coming out with called Vanilla Scoop. I don't think it's been released yet, but that she's working on that. So in fact, I may have sent her some yarn for a giveaway. So nicely done, Leah. All right. Linda Koleric is also doing a sweater. She said, I don't do crop. Oops, I made it go away. I don't do crops, she said. However, it doesn't want to come back, y'all. Did my mouse die? Oh, there it is. You never know what's going to happen on this podcast. She said it's taking a little bit longer because she didn't do crops. But hey, this is another Andrea Mowry pattern. It is the DRK Everyday Sweater. And so this is the combo that is slate on fluffy lace and after midnight on, I think this is trusty sock for her that she got. Yeah, my mouse seems to have fritzed on me. All right, so let's see. Okay, this, y'all, is Sarah from Tampa's Hooked on Crochet group, and she bought some little storm cloud at when we were at the Common Thread doing a trunk show, and she crocheted up this gorgeous little top. How cute is that? And then more sweaters. Okay, and I think more Andrea Mowry patterns, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, because this is the beginning of the nurtured sweater. Angie is using Christmas at the Cabin and Swan White. So you can see how the Swan White, she said it makes it look like a snowy Christmas scene. And I'm like, yep, it sure does. So hang on, I was looking at comments. Let me go back to there we go. Okay, and then she's also doing, hang on. She's also doing this one, which is the Perla Top by Kydri. I think that's how you say her name. And that's Queen of Tarts on Sparkly DK, which is kind of like a, I don't know, it's basically like a tank top of a sort. I'm sure there's a specific name for that variety. It's gorgeous. But anyway, so yeah, so she's doing that one as well. And then Anne, let's see, I'm trying to remember, is it her fourth, y'all, this is her fourth Extra Light Bright. And this one, she's using Mail Pouch on Starry Sock, which I need to get restocked in the shop. But she says she loves the yarn. So I'm thrilled. That's awesome. I love it. All right, Lori, look at her. She's definitely winning in the race to finish a Sean sweater. Not there's a race, but she's doing very good. She said she tried on her Sean and she loves how it fits. And I love how that main color that she's got running through there, how she's just letting it do its own thing. I love that so much. I believe that's from Juniper Moons, Farms, and she paired it with vintage on fluffy lace. So you can see that light blue that's coming through. It's just gorgeous. All right. Katrin, who does some of the most amazing shawls, finished her Alien Emissary shawl. How gorgeous is that? I hope y'all can see the detail. If you haven't seen her post, you need to go look in the Swan City Stitchers because she's got some great pictures of this beautiful shawl. It's amazing and huge. I love a big shawl. I typically run out of patience when it comes to shawl knitting, and then I end up with a shawl that's not quite as long as I would like it to be. But she definitely did this pattern justice. And she said she used Clarity and It Takes Two to Tango on Swanky Sock. And then she also did another one. Do I have the other one? Oh, hang on. We'll see if I come to it. I'm sure I have the other one. It just didn't do it in order. Okay, so Laura, yeah, this is her sorrel, Summer Sorrel by Wool and Pine. And she's using the colorway Driftwood. And I don't know how well y'all can see there. Those dip stitches that they're called in the yoke are so great for a pattern with, a yarn with color repeats like Driftwood has. And then I believe she said down at the bottom she was going to be alternating skeins, and it looks like she did. So yeah, I love that top. It's just phenomenal. All right. Oh, this is the other one from Katrin. She is working on her triagonal shawlette. And don't worry, Katrin, I have yet to finish mine as well. It's sitting right here beside me, actually. I might take it with me to Nashville, see if I can please get it finished. But she's using, these were the mini set that the Dine to Knit subscribers got. First Bloom, Tea Leaves, Sifting Sands, Grace, and Tough Love. And then the yellow in there is Pints and Pearls. I love it. It looks great. What a great accent colorway. Okay, oops, I wasn't supposed to show you that yet. So let's see, did I get them all? I hope I did. There were a lot of projects, y'all. I love that so much. Thank you all for sharing with us. Okay, so moving on, let me look at my list. Oh, let me show you what I'm working on. So I don't know if you saw, I posted a picture the other day. I tried on my Swan sweater. Oh, look, I'm dropping stitches. Normally I have my stitch stoppers on, but I've been a little lax lately at keeping my stitch stoppers on the ends. Teach me. So here we go. I tried it on the other day, and I don't think I've knit on it since then. And if you saw in the picture, and I was wearing a t-shirt underneath it, I just love these colors together, y'all. It was a good choice. And honestly, it was y'all knitting with burnt butter so much that made me decide to choose it, because I don't know that I would have chosen it otherwise, but it's burnt butter is my base color, and then nautical wheelers on fluffy lace that I'm holding together. And so you get to see all those different highlights in there. Oh, I just love it so much. Anyway, I tried it on. It's not too small. I would have liked it a little bit bigger, but I was wearing a t-shirt. So we'll see what happens when I block it. And so I think and I knit a gauge swatch. In fact, that was why I chose the size that I did, because according to my measurements, my bust measurements, if I was on gauge, I should have gone with a size 2, but I could tell by my gauge swatch, I had, is it more stitches or less stitches? I always get it mixed up in my head. Anyway, I knew, I was like, it might come out a little short. I didn't want to knit another gauge swatch. So I just went up a size because there was a close enough, difference between the two sizes. I was like, I'll just go up a size and leave it at a size 7 needle. And yeah, so I think I would have liked a little more ease in it, but it's okay. It'll be fine. It's a gorgeous pattern. It's going to be super comfy and cozy because it's squishy worsted paired with fluffy lace. I mean, come on. How much better can you get? So anyway, so I'm happy with that. And y'all, this is only my second skein. I'm on my second skein of squishy worsted, and this is still my first skein of fluffy lace. So I do need to wind before we leave for Nashville. I need to wind another skein of the squishy worsted and this. I haven't done that yet. So, but I will. The other thing, I cast this on the way to Alabama. So I don't know if y'all remember me talking about, so we go to Nashville every year at Thanksgiving. Beau's daughter, Kayla, lives there, and she has a boyfriend, David. And back in March, I had told him I'd knit him a hat. And we talked about what kind of hat because he has a hat that is his go-to hat. He's bald like Beau. He shaves his head. But unlike Beau, he doesn't like slouchy hats. He has this little fitted hat, that it's like a cap, and he rolls the brim. And he picked out the executive producer colorway and said that he wanted a hat like that. And he wanted it in fingering weight. He didn't want to, because the one that he has now is kind of a chunkier knit. And so I was looking for basic beanie patterns, and I found the one by Tin Can Knits. Although in the pattern, which I didn't bring with me, they kind of give you the decreases to make it more of a pointy hat. But I read someone's notes who said that they spaced out their decreases at the top for a little bit, and then they finished them off quicker. Like they started doing decreases every round, and that's what made the more rounded top. And I was like, oh, perfect. I can totally do that. And here's the thing though about this. So this is how it's knitting up. I think I wrote down that I need to knit about 6 1/4 inches. So I'm only about an inch away away from starting my decreases. And then, but to me, it looks a little bit small. Now I didn't knit a gauge swatch. I just figured it's ribbed, it's a hat, but it's definitely, and he has a smaller head than Bo. I measured his head. So I haven't measured my head, but when I tried it on, I was like, oh, it is a little, I hope it's not too tight for him. I think what's happening for me is that I don't know if I've been a little more stressed lately, but I feel like my knitting gauge has gotten really tight. Like I'm just, yanking on the yarn. So I don't know what's going on with that. I would like to get back to knitting looser instead of, because I feel like that's maybe stress or tension. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with me, but I feel like everything's coming out, at a tighter gauge than I would ordinarily knit it at. But I love how Executive Producer is coming out. You got a little bit of color pooling going on there because of the smaller circumference. When I used this colorway for Bo's Musselburgh hat, it didn't do any of that color pooling at all. So it's because of the smaller circumference that you're seeing that. But anyway, so I want to get this done before our Thanksgiving vacation is over. So that's kind of my primary concern. And it shouldn't take me long to get it done. So I always say, but it shouldn't if I just get to it. So anyway, okay, let's see what else. So that's what I'm working on. Okay, it is time to talk about currently celebrating. I'm disappointed about my mouse. We just changed the battery. Oh, there it is again. I wonder if it died. I mean, I wonder if it went to sleep. That's possible. Bo says, Nautical Wheelers is my all-time favorite. Yeah, we know. My next pair of socks to knit has already been chosen by Bo because he's picked out something that he wants. Okay, you may have seen a picture in the newsletter of currently celebrating. I hope everybody got their currently celebrating. Those were shipped out, all of them. So if you didn't get yours yet and you don't want to see it, you might want to close your eyes or look away or something because I'm going to show it to you. Oh, thank you, Pam. Okay, so here it is. These two were skeined up differently and in different pots. So you'll see different colors at different points in the skein. But here it is. So this is currently celebrating. I did not bring the color card in with me that I used as inspiration. But you can see there's those plummy tones and some gray of the rocks that was in that picture. And then you've got some orangey golden tones in there as well. It's just a nice fall vibe. I was actually thinking it would be really cool to do some sort of pairing with Nautical Wheelers and Driftwood, and this all in one would look really good. Some sort of unique fade situation, something like that. Cindy, I discovered years ago that stress doesn't usually transfer to my knitting force. That's good. I don't know what my deal is. I just have noticed that my gauge seems to be tighter than it used to be for some reason. I don't know, and I don't like that. So now I promised some colorways that do coordinate with this, and I also have some pattern suggestions just to get you thinking. You may already have something in mind. I actually think this would look good as a contrast color if you're doing a sweater. Most people didn't order enough to do a garment themselves. A few did, actually. So you could obviously do a garment out of this. But most people ordered 1 or 2 skeins. And so I'll show you the colors that I think go best with. There are a bunch in the shop that you could use. But the 2 that I dyed specifically for this are Chimney Soot, which is a deep dark gray, and I just love it with Currently Celebrating. And then the other one is Sweet Cherry Pie. And both of those, I think, just kind of go nicely with that. They're similar enough that they look good, but not so similar that they kind of get hidden, I think, if you were to pair them together. Sorry, I'm not doing a very good job of that. So I just think they complement them so nicely. So, and in fact, that was why I ended up wearing this, because chimney soot is just a darker shade of what I'm wearing here. And sweet cherry pie is a darker shade of this as well. So this is Out of the Mist, and this was a colorway called Renewal. And so it made me think of the colors. And I really love, they came out so well. I think I dyed them on all the bases that I offered the mystery pre-order in. So here it is on Fluffy DK. Oh, I wish I had uploaded, y'all, this currently celebrating colorway on Fluffy DK. It was beautiful. I was like, oh, I love it so much. But of course I had to ship it out. So I should have dyed extra. But anyway, I digress. So here they are, Sweet Cherry Pie and Chimney Soot on Fluffy DK. They also look beautiful on Fluffy Lace. Look at this. How gorgeous is that? I love it. There are other grays in the shop that would work, or you might have them in your stash. Charcoal, Out of the Mist, and what else? Like I said, I really like nautical wheelers. You could do Queen of Tarts if you happen to have it around. It's darker, but I don't hate that. And yeah, so you have options. If you need more, let me know. But let's look at some of the patterns. Thank you, Katrin. It is a good gray. I know. Oh, hang on, losing it. My mouse keeps, I think it's like going to sleep if I don't use it enough or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'll have to do some work on that. Okay, so here is the first pattern. If you're looking for something like a hat, this is called Fancy, and it is by Tina Vanderberg. Now, this is a DK weight hat pattern using 2 colors, but she also has a sock pattern that I think is actually really cool. And so then let's see, did I also have, there's also a fingering hat. Let me see if I can find that. We may have to just come to it. Okay, so this one, I've mentioned this shawl before. I mentioned this shawl in my class working with hand-dyed yarns. This is called Easy by Martina Bim, and she says that it's specifically written for variegated skeins because you start at one end and then you end up changing direction, and you can see how there's the orientation halfway through the shawl changes. And so it just is cool. I keep waiting for someone to knit that up. Maybe I will have to do it. Anyway, so I think that would look really good with this particular pattern. It's a fingering weight pattern. Oh, here's the other hat pattern. This is a fingering weight pattern. It's called Dahlia Bouquet by Ariana Solway. I'll put the links to these in the show notes, by the way. But that's another cool pattern I think would look good with currently celebrating, and then one of the coordinating colorways. So this is actually, I just happened to come upon this hat. It's the Oslo hat by Petite Knit, and most of her samples are all one color, but she does have you combining I don't remember if it's DK and lace weight or if it's fingering and lace weight, but I was like, I really think currently celebrating paired with either Chimney Soot on Fluffy Lace or Sweet Cherry Pie on Fluffy Lace would really look good in a hat pattern as well. All right, this is the Drifter. This is this pattern's been around a while, but you can do it in a 2-color or 3-color. I kind of like the 2-color shawl myself, but she does have a 3-color version. So I think that would look really good with this pattern. And then I just happened to see, I got the Wool and Pine, one of their newsletters this morning, happened to see this one, which is called the Light Bright Loop. And I was thinking of, who was it that did it? Was it Sue who recently knit the sea glass tee? And I showed it on here because she basically took a strand of a vivid variegated colorway called Sand Between My Toes, I think it was. And she used that. It's the same technique as this. They've kind of written the pattern for multiple, like scraps and things like that, and you combine them. But you can also do what she did, and you hold one strand throughout the same, and then you change the other strands. So you could actually pair that. I just thought, when I saw it this morning, I was like, ooh, that would be cool to do with Currently Celebrating. I think something of that nature, where you could take some of your leftovers and pair it together to create this. So yeah. And you basically marl them together. And if you have one consistent strand that you're holding throughout, then you have less ends to take care of. So there is that. If you are looking for a specific type of pattern, like a shawl or, something that I didn't mention, and let me know, and I'll see what I can do. Or you can even post it in the Swan City Stitchers Facebook group, and we'll try to help you out with some more patterns. I do have, so the Currently Celebrating colorway, because I've already gotten an email about this. So here's the thing. It was a mystery pre-order, and it did come out really good. I got some feedback. Y'all seem to like it. I'm really glad. I'm thankful for that. It will probably come back at some point, but right now I'm not, it's not, because my die schedule is pretty booked. However, I do have one skein on Trusty DK and one skein on Trusty Sock that were extra. I did have another one, but it's already gone. So if you missed out and you're like, ooh, I would like one of those or both, email me. Don't send me a message anywhere else. Please email me. And first come, first serve. I'll be happy to sell it to you. And if you want, I will do special orders, 2 or more skeins. I will do that. Get you put on the die schedule. But that's it for now on that one, as beautiful as it is. All right, let's see. What else? I told you that the Hanukkah boxes have shipped, and the coordinating cousins for this last go around of Dying to Knit, those have shipped, just went out today. And okay, however, after today, shipping will be on hold through the next week, since I will be out of town. I'll leave the online shop open, but shipping will be on hold. And I will do a live next Friday, because I've got some fun things to show you, including the very first Christmas colorway I've got. So I've got 3 new Christmas colorways coming out this season, and I'm very excited about them. They're I have to say, they're beautiful color palettes, which is why I chose them. And I think they're a little bit different than stuff that I've done in the past. So I hope you like them, and I'll release the very first one next Friday. I've already dyed them up. They're ready to go. So that will be, next Friday. And then what else? So I did want to mention, if you send me an email, I typically respond to emails within 24 hours. If more than 24 hours goes by and I haven't responded, it's possible that I somehow missed it. I've noticed that my email will sometimes group things together, or I don't know. Sometimes I just don't see an email, even though I try to keep my business account very cleaned up, but it has happened. Cindy B this morning emailed me. I was like, I didn't see that email. So never hesitate to reach out again if I take too long to respond, because I'm usually pretty up on those. All right. So just to let you know, I will be at Knitcessities in Orlando the week after I get back from Thanksgiving. So that's the very first weekend in December, Saturday, December 6th. I'll be at Knitcessities. So if you're local, come by. I think she's open from 11 to 5. So we'll be there all day. And then the week after that is the Tampa Fiber Conference being put on by the Tampa Hooked on Crochet group. I've talked about that on past podcasts, but a great group of people, and they've got some awesome workshops that if you sign up for the day, and you do need to sign up, I believe, but you get to pick your choice of an afternoon and a morning workshop, and there's, I think, lunches included. So it's going to be a good event. That's the second week, December 13th. And then January is Distaff Day already, one of my favorite local events for sure. And registration is open. I put the link to that in the newsletter. If you're signed up on, I think you can sign up for emails on the Orlando Distaff Day website, and then they'll let you know. So some of you have probably already signed up or registered for that. All right. I think that's it, y'all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing and watching. I appreciate you so much. And I'm still feeling such gratitude. I still feel like it's my anniversary month. And it's just kind of been a whirlwind, and I'm just so grateful. I've been telling Bo, that's right, over the river and through the woods we go. Listen, Thanksgiving is coming up. I hope y'all have a wonderful day filled with people that you love, who love you, good food, and laughter, and lots of knitting or crocheting, spinning, weaving, whatever it is that you like to do. I hope that it's full. We will be in Nashville. I don't know if I'll be on social media a lot or not. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'm excited though, and I've got a lot of books loaded up on my Kindle already, and I've got my knitting, and I'm excited for cold weather, coffee shops, long walks, all the things. So, and I hope the same for you wherever you are at. I think that's it. So yeah, so I will do a live next Friday at 1:00, same time, which will be an hour earlier for me. Bo, are you listening? We need set up at 12 for us because it'll be 1:00 Eastern time for everyone else. Well, not all of you, whatever time it is you're familiar with. I know, like Anne, it's earlier in the day for you. Maybe I shouldn't have said the whole 12 o'clock thing. It might be confusing. It'll be at 1:00 Eastern time as always. One way or another. All right. Yeah. Hey, y'all take care of yourselves, and thank you so much for joining in. All right. See you next time. Bye.